gamers, and welcome to episode 458 of the Super Ultra Podcast Arcade for June 8th, 2024. I'm one of your hosts, Daniel Dunkelson, and with me is my co-host, Dominic Stallworth. What's going on this week, Dominic?
Not much, man. Just chilling, and this is basically our E3 now, Summer Game Fest. I guess that's the thing it's going to be called now, Summer Game Fest now, since E3 is probably just non-existent.
The Summer Kids.
Yeah. So, this is basically the one of the biggest times of the, gaming world where we get to see a lot of the, potentially all the new games that could be coming out and what's the future in gaming, basically, what's new. Maybe some new technology sometimes, get announced. Even though we haven't really got that, even in recent years, even in, E3 times, we'll get those announcements, before or after, all depends.
All these companies have their own directs now. They do their own thing because they realize they don't need that.
So, so it's more of a software thing when it comes around this time of year. Just been so far, as of this podcast, the only thing really seen is the Summer Game Fest. I know IGN have a little show. They had showed some games off there, and some other entertainment, because IGN is just all about basically entertainment.
Yep.
Nerd entertainment.
Nerd culture.
Yeah, basically. So, and then you said Devolver Digital had a show?
Yeah, so after the Summer Game Fest, there was the Day of the Devs stuff, and there was also the Devolver Digital stuff. I think I'm going to hold off on talking about most of that, though, just to have some time to actually soak it in, with all this happening the night before the podcast. It's hard to get all this stuff together,
Yeah, exactly. Even the IGN show, even though, it's a lot of show with, talk about movie stuff, which some of that stuff I really have no interest in, and some things are just them meeting people and then playing games, which is, it's nice if you're really into that, but I'm just trying to get the news stuff from that, and and just seeing what new games are out. So I just mentioned what I can remember. That's it, and then I'll probably go back and talk more next week on that. But so there's still other shows that hasn't happened yet as of this podcast. We still got the Xbox, we still got Ubisoft, we also still got Nintendo Direct. Did they even give a specific date on that?
No, they said this month, but they didn't.
Yeah, they said this month, so that could be even after the next podcast too. Yep. So who knows? There's still we're gonna be talking about quite a few stuff in the coming weeks. So let's get right down to sports. Orioles, they've been doing okay. They did tie the series against Toronto 2-2. I was hoping they at least win it. They did, as of this podcast, they did beat Tampa Bay in their first game. The first game of a 4-game series. So hopefully they can at least win that series. But they've been doing all right. Yankees are still, because they've been on a winning streak. I don't know the Yankees lost yesterday, because they was on a 7-game winning streak, but they're playing against the Dodgers, so it was two big teams playing against each other. I know they were 0-0 for a while, almost going into the ninth, I believe. So I don't know who ended up winning that game, but the Yankees are still, even if they lost, they'll still be in first place with the better record over the Orioles, but not by much. It's but they've been rolling. The Yankees have been rolling recently. And it's not that the Orioles have really done bad. It's just the Yankees have been on a winning streak. And anything else to say about baseball? All-Star game. The ballots are out, I should say.
Oh.
So, get your votes in, man, and just vote for your favorite players if you're into that and everything. That's all I'm going to do. I'm going to vote all Orioles, even the ones that not doing too well. I'm going to vote them too. Vote them in too. I know NBA Finals is up. As of this podcast, the Boston is up 1-0 against the Mavericks. So I believe that Boston will win this thing. Really, I see Boston. I think Boston will win the whole thing. Now I think it's almost like this is it. Like apply like this. If they can't do it now, I don't know when they ever going to do it. This is like the team they're going against. I mean, the team they're going against is good, but I think their overall team is just better than theirs. So hold on, let me get this phone put on Do Not Disturb. All right. So other than that, man, I really don't have really much to say. So you got any wrestling news?
Nah, nothing really worth talking about this week since we got so much other stuff to go about.
Yeah. So let's get into what we've been watching. So I've been watching. I'm gonna hurry get through these movies I've seen. These are old movies, like Hunt for Red October. I'd never seen it before, so I said I'll check it out, and it was good. It was good. This is with Tom Clancy movies. Of course, Jack Ryan, like the main character, and they had this is one with Alec Baldwin. What's his name from James Bond? Sean Connery, and a lot of the faces. James Earl Jones was in it. It was. I mean, there's other guys too was in it, like other famous people there too. When they were definitely, man, they look so much younger. This is like in the early '90s when this came out. Yeah, it was good. It was a lot of tension and stuff because it was supposed to be like, hey, it's a Russian sub that's kind of gone rogue, and the U.S. don't know what's going on, what the Russians are trying to do, and the Russians don't know what's going on really early on because they didn't authorize, that this is. But you kind of find out that the guy's trying to defect, and thing is, it was the way. How do you try to tell the U.S. you're trying to defect without, letting on the Russians?
Right.
I mean, well, actually, technically, Russia does know. Certain people do know, but they can't admit that. They can't. Yeah. So it's a lot of it's a lot of intrigue with that and everything. And then I watched another Tom Clancy movie, Clear and Present Danger. With Harrison Ford. That's the one after Patriot Games. Or no, not after Patriot Games. It's the Patriot, right? No, the Patriot Games.
Patriot Games is right, yeah.
Yeah. Because the Patriot is Mel Gibson. It's Mel Gibson. Yeah, the Mel Gibson. Yes, Patriot Games. And I've already seen that like just a few years ago. So it's still fresh in my mind. So I watched Clear Present Danger. That's with what's his name? Who played the Green Goblin? What's his name?
Willem Dafoe.
Yeah, Willem Dafoe. Willem Dafoe was in this
one. It took me a second to get his name for some reason.
And of course Harrison Ford. This is his second Tom Clancy movie. He only did 2 of them. And yeah, this was really good too. This is it deals with. There was a killing of like a prominent figure in the U.S. who was definitely friends with the president, and it was like by the cartel. So the president's really angry. So he's like, "We gotta show them like they can't just do what the hell they want and like kill U.S. citizens and shit like that." But it's a lot of other things behind. It's not just the cartel just killing this man. You've also found out this man he was doing some dirty stuff, but I think the president reacted a little too irrational, and things go wrong. And yeah, it's another great intriguing movie. And I never read these books, so like Tom Clancy books. Only seen the movies and the game, played the game. So I know he really didn't do the games. Pretty much just took place in his universe. I should say it's not so much he did the writing. But I do like, but these things are more like suspenseful. They're not just a bunch of action. I mean, they have some action stuff in there, but it's really the suspense and the stuff around it that really like makes the movies. Some of Our Fears wasn't that good though. Not the story. The story was fine. The movie wasn't all that great. This was with Morgan Freeman and not Alec Baldwin. And what's his name?
Ben Affleck.
Ben Affleck, yeah, Ben Affleck. They it was all right. Ben Affleck is playing Jack Ryan now, and I'm guessing he's supposed to be a younger Jack Ryan. And even though this all supposed to take place in the same, universe, it's just that they also happen like within the time, because the Summer of Fear it feels modern. It doesn't feel like it takes place before Patriot Games and Clear and Present Danger. So it feels like it. They just said like it's like a whatever. This is Jack Ryan, but it's not the same. It is the same Jack Ryan from the other ones, but not. It's a different timeline, basically. That's what it almost seems like. This is like another universe where Ben Affleck is Jack Ryan, and the time takes place in 2001. And so, even though if in reality it would have taken place before 1991, I think was Patriot Games. Not Patriots Games, the Hunt for Red October. And actually, Hunt for Red October, I'm trying to think, was that technically before Summer of Fears? Or not? Because I don't know if he was married in that. If he was married, because he's not married yet in Summer of Fears. Well, on Clear and Present Danger and Patriot Games, he's married with kids already. So, yeah, but yeah, they just basically modernized it. That's all they did. It's like modernize it. They probably changed it out a bit, because I'm guessing when the book. I don't know when the book was written. I don't think the book was written within the 2001 year. So but it's about there was a Israeli plane that had a nuke or something, like one nuke, and it crashed, but the nuke didn't. The plane got shot down. The nuke didn't go off though, and somebody found the nuke. And then they got into these people's hands, and who are basically trying to make it like the Russians. They want to make it look like Russia is doing something against the U.S. without Russia knowing. So, and the U.S. is going to think it's Russia, so they can start a war between each other. The story is fine. It just, I don't know, it just didn't play out as good as these other movies I watched, and I wasn't really much interested in the end. I just going to read the Wikipedia and see what happens at the end. And plus, Morgan Freeman, a spoiler alert, Morgan Freeman dies in it, so I was a little pissed off by that too. But anyway, it was it's not horrible. I know it got bad reviews. I don't think it's horrible. It started out entertaining for me. It just, whatever I was watching, I just got kind of like bored. And I watched Along Came a Spider. That was that movie with Morgan Freeman. And I forgot the other woman's name. But I've seen her in different movies.
Yeah, I can't think of her name.
Yeah. She's a movie. She's a woman who got killed in that Robin Williams movie. Where he was a doctor. When the crazy guy killed her. And always pissed me off when I used to watch that movie. It's based on a true story though, so I guess you can't just change it. But Along Came a Spider deals with it's one of those like thrillers of somebody getting kidnapped and things like that, of this crazy dude. He kidnapped Senator's, I think, child or something like that. And the guy, he knows Morgan Freeman used to work with the I don't know if he worked for the FBI. He worked with somebody, but I think he works with like the police force, because he used to write he used to write books on the minds of like how to catch a killer or something like that.
Okay.
And things of that nature. And I don't know if he did work in law enforcement, I don't know. But something happened in his past, like you see at the very beginning, that one of the officers got killed. So he kind of just been hard on himself, but then this killer seemed like he wants to see him, and he sends him like a note and something, and also he calls him with the girl screaming in the background or something like that. Mm-hmm. And so he has to be involved with the case and trying to find this girl. And yeah, it was pretty good. I mean, I enjoyed it. It seemed like this seemed like there's a time when Morgan Freeman was always playing in those type of movies.
Yeah,
You know, like the one with what's the one that says what's
Seven.
in the box? Yeah, Seven. Yeah,
yeah.
Seven.
Stoic crime solver.
Yeah, exactly. He's always playing those type of movies. Yeah, Long Kiss Spider was that was pretty good. Other than that, I think that's it. That's all I really watched. I was watching a bunch of old movies. Oh, and because you watched it too. Loudermilk.
Yeah, Loudermilk.
Show on Netflix. Yeah.
I mean, you recommended it last week, and that's basically all I've been watching this week because it's got me hooked. It's funny, and it's also kind of thoughtful at the same time because it's dealing with an addict or former addict. I guess you're always an addict once you're an addict. And him leading this group of kind of miscreants who are trying to solve their own problems, and just he's an asshole. but that's where the humor comes in because he's always got something quippy to say. It reminds me of the kind of like shows and movies that we don't really see much anymore. There was very much a time where this was like all the characters, right? Where it's like, they've always got something. It almost reminds me like the one that immediately sticks out in my head is like a Juno, where it's like the main character in that movie just always had something to say back.
Yeah.
That was smart and quippy and made a reference to something sometimes somewhat obscure, but if you got it, you're like, yeah, I get it because I'm smart and I'm funny. So like he's got a lot of that attitude to it, and I think everybody else in the show as well is quite humorous, which I think is exemplified by the fact that I was telling you before we started recording, but like the first season, it feels like a quarter of that doesn't really ever even focus on Loudermilk himself. It's on these two other characters that come into it a couple episodes, start developing a couple episodes into the season. So it's kind of just strays off on its own path for a little while. And you're still seeing Loudermilk throughout. It's just kind of interspersed, but the main focus during that time is on these two other characters. And I think that stuff is pretty much just as strong as anything with the main character himself. So yeah, it's really good. There have been literal laugh out loud moments where I'm just like, that is just too well set up and perfect.
Yeah, it did. I mean, this show is hilarious. I mean, it's not much more. I can say for what I said from last week. Like it's still funny. I'm on the third season, which is there's only been 3 seasons.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm on like the third season, maybe second or third episode of that season, and yeah, it's still up there, man. And I mean, you see progression with the characters in there too, of the main characters, and like it's cool. And like you said about the thoughtfulness and things of that nature, like yeah, they go real silly, but then it's not like they go hard and then they leave. It's like there is like there is a story to this, like the story, and there is something like you have feelings for these characters. Mm-hmm. Like you care for them, things of that nature, because especially the ones like they're trying to get better because of their problem, and then you see what the addiction has really caused them. Because even though like Loudermilk, he always jokes and he gets angry and stuff like like that, or attitude and things of that nature. But you see that he wants to be a better person or something like that. Like, and he does. I mean, technically he is better, like compared to what he was doing.
Because they put him in these situations where you see kind of the opposite of that, like with seeing his father there and just being kind of the complete opposite of who Loudermilk is currently.
Yeah, exactly. And it's a well done show. It's just amazing that this was on a station that we never heard of called Audience. You said, yeah, I never heard of this station, and I don't know, like, how many people actually saw this then? That's what I'm thinking. It was like people are saying, like, hoping for, like, oh, if they didn't know the show's going to be on anymore. It's like, god darn, I mean, you're on a station that nobody probably knows exists.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think that will always be the question.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, how do you even get the word of mouth of this? I mean, I'm glad it got to Netflix.
Yeah, to their credit, I will say Netflix has done a pretty good job at a show like this, or the other one with Simu Liu that I watched and really liked a lot. Like, it gives a home to these shows that probably benefit from having more of maybe like a cult style following. Of like, oh, I've heard of this being on this like obscure place. Like for that show, it was just being in Canada mainly. And then this one being on Audience, whatever the hell that is. Yeah. But they do a good job of kind of bringing it up front when it's put on their service, and that opens it up to a lot more people. So hopefully that same thing happens in America for like Godzilla -1. It's not quite the same thing, but I hope that gets the recognition that it deserves. Especially it's even more accessible now than ever because there's even an English dub to it. So
yeah, because my dad watched it because I had gave him this show, but he was like, "Hey, it's not in English," and I was like, "I said I told you that. I said I told you they have it." I said if they do have a dub version, it's not out yet.
Yeah.
But yeah, they shadow dropped that on Netflix because nobody knew it was coming to Netflix.
Yeah. And
then I saw how they show the trailers in Netflix when you turn it on, and I heard somebody speaking English. I was like, wait a minute. I said, oh, they got it dubbed. So I was saying, okay. And now you say they had the I didn't know they had the black and white version.
Yeah, so I found out it's coming this summer. It's not actually on there yet.
Oh, okay.
So
all right then. I guess we get to what we've been playing. So what you been playing, man?
So I played some Warhammer Gunbolt, the like retro Doom style first person shooter. And that game's really cool. I didn't expect it to be. I thought it was more like sprite based, like the original Doom, but they just do a really good job of taking a 3D environment and putting like these filters on top of it that make it look that way. Because you can actually turn up and turn down that effect to make it look less retro or more retro. So I think that's really cool. In general, it seems fine. It didn't really grab me necessarily, but it definitely feels faithful to those games. And it was fun for the little bit that I played. I played 2 levels, I believe. So it's what the time investment is what kind of concerns me, because I heard this is like a 15 or 20 hour game, and it's like the gimmick works. So like that's nice for 5, maybe 10 hours. But when you're talking about like how big this is, I don't know if it would work for that long, honestly, because it's not like, the enemy AI isn't incredible or anything like that. It's literally just walk into a room, kind of mow these guys down, and then find a key card style gameplay. So I don't know, maybe it evolves later on. I feel like this game got pretty good reviews, so maybe it does. That would actually be a really clever like subversion, is if it's like, okay, visually it's like this, and the first couple of levels are very simplistic, like one of these old style things, but it like slowly evolved into something more. I have to look into that, and I'll have to play some more of it, because I did think it was kind of neat, but for the most part, it's not something that's like outside of just kind of the retro gimmick and aesthetic. Is it really doing a whole lot for me? Now, conversely, Mini Shoot Adventure is a game I've been hearing a lot about, And visually, it's kind of uninspired. It looks very much like an early internet game, like a Flash style game. Very, very basic colors, very cartoony looking. But you play as a little spaceship, and it's essentially a top-down twin-stick shooter, but built around like a 2D Zelda style mechanic of, finding new weapons and defeating bosses with them and going into different areas and dungeons and stuff. Now what I played is the demo that's on Steam currently, and it seems pretty cool. Like aesthetically, it's kind of uninspired, but gameplay wise, it's a lot of fun. And I think, upgrading my ship, you can do speed and rate of fire and things of that nature. I think that could be really cool. It's like, once I get more powerful throughout this game, and start fighting more like evolved bosses and stuff like that. I'm already seeing more evolved enemies. Initially you just see kind of these guys that are like, I'll shoot at you, but kind of keep my distance. Now I'm seeing things that'll like try and kamikaze you or be shooting in several directions at a time and stuff like that. So I think it's a really neat looking game. It's something that I don't think it's out anywhere right now other than PC, but it seems like this would be a really great like Steam Deck or Switch game, once it makes its way to a portable console. So yeah, that's what I've been playing. I did play Super Metroid and beat that, but I was kind of getting in the mood again of like comfort game, and I just started playing that, and I think I might go back and give Metroid Dread another go just to see how I'm feeling about that after a couple of years. See if it has the same kind of draw as Zero Mission or Fusion, those games that have held up really well. So what have you been playing, Dominic?
All right. So I've still been playing Iron Chronicles, 100 Heroes. I'm near the end of that game now. I fought like the last battle, which is like the tactic style type of battle.
You got 99 heroes.
I don't know. Well, actually, it's more than 100 heroes in this game. They now that I got all the characters I can possibly get at this moment.
Oh, okay.
There's characters apparently I can get. Even now, I don't know. See, that's what I'm saying. I know I'm close to the end. I'm thinking like, is it like post game I can get these characters, or is there's still
a whole
like
new game plus, Dominic, and you get a whole 100 more characters?
Or is it like I get these characters? Like there's still another story. Like, but even though I'm close to the end, there's still another story where I get some new characters because I did a lot of the side quests. I didn't do everything. I'm not gonna get 100% in this game, but I did everything that I really enjoyed doing. I fixed up my base to 100% and everything. So yeah, I'm just right now. I'm supposed to be like storming, going after the Duke. I guess I don't know if we're storming the castle or what. But we're going after the Duke that basically started this war, and stop him. So I'll probably complete that this weekend, hopefully, and I can move on to some new game or something like that. And also, I've been playing some Vampire Survivors, so I did actually play as one of the Contra people. I don't know their names, but I play a stage, like a Contra-like stage, and it's pretty big. Well, no, I played the Contra stage before, actually, weeks ago, and they mentioned that. And I didn't play as the Contra guy, because I think that's where you unlock him, I want to say. But I forgot who I played as. But they have a boss in there that's kind of like a Contra boss at there, because like after a certain point in the game, it has an arrow pointing to you to go here. And then you go there, and then you fight like this monster, and you basically got to move around to dodge his hits and stuff like that. And you kill him. I was like, that was pretty cool. And so that's when I got him, and then I played the Among Us stage. That's what I played, yeah.
Okay.
Which is really big. It's a huge stage, and you can get the Among Us, and they have some abilities which I have no idea what exactly it did. I think they posted. I think each one helps at a certain stat or something like that, like either heals you or something, or helps with attacks and things of that nature. It does some of them do attacks every now and then. And yeah, so I was really playing with that, and yeah, man, like the new weapons, I'm still not really sure what all of them do. I can't really remember the main one, but it's but they all do something like that's totally different from what the other weapons have done before. So it's something new and cool, and it actually works with the enemies that you see around. Like it'd be a ton of enemies, but so you obviously have to have the right powers. Mm-hmm. And those weapons, like as you evolve them, man, like they definitely help out with that. And oh yeah, you was talking about the slowdown when you get a lot of people. Yeah, that's just a thing, because I remember people talking about that in one of these I think one of the Twitter feeds, like when I was looking at, people were talking about, so yeah, that game is so great even when it goes down to 4 frames per second. He's saying like when you get like at the minute whatever, when it's like a slew of enemies coming, still having too much fun with it. And yeah, man, it's just, the game is just so addicting, man. I can just keep playing and going. But yeah, it's I still have a lot to unlock and do still in the game because of the DLC. I did play some of the story. I think I still maybe got like 2 chapters of that story to go. I have no idea what the story is. Even though I read it, I forget it right after I just join, because it don't really matter. I just want to play some more Vampire Survivors. And yeah, man, it's still got life, man. This game still got plenty of life, and I'm sure there's gonna be more DLC for this game because just how popular it is. All right. So I guess we'll take a quick break. When we get back, we won't really have a flashback segment. Actually, I just go right to it now. Just to say the one game. The only one game's probably worth mentioning is the Zelda, the Four Swords one. And what was that?
Four Swords Adventure.
Was that the GameCube one?
Yeah, that was the GameCube one where you use 4 Game Boy Advances to play each character.
Oh, okay. Well, you know the game more than I do.
Yeah, basically it was 2D style over the top Zelda game, but it was multiplayer focused. So you get 4 friends together, and a lot of the puzzles revolved around you guys working in unison to hit switches or defeat enemies. So it seemed clever. I never really got to experience it. I think I bought it, but never really got to play it because you needed multiple people to play it. And I can't remember if it required the Game Boy for each player, or if you could play like one controller and one Game Boy. But I think it did require the Game Boy because it came with the Link cable. And that was, just another hurdle of trying to get people together and then also having a Game Boy. And so, yeah, it seems like a novel idea for what Nintendo was doing in that day and age, but I just never got a chance to really experience it.
All right. So I guess we'll take a quick break, and when we get back, we'll get to the gaming news.
All right.
Yeah, because I'm waiting for you. That's why I said. Did I say ready? I was ready. All right. And we're back. So let's get to the gaming news. What we got, Dan?
All right, Dominic. So we got a couple of things before we get into the Summer Game Fest stuff. First up, PlayStation exclusives coming to the Xbox, Dominic. It's finally happening. We're getting the win back. Kena Bridge of Spirits is coming to the Xbox on August 15th for $40. Doesn't sound like right now it's coming to Game Pass, unfortunately, so it's not a big win there. But
that's not a Sony that game, right? That was just
I always kind of got the impression it was, but it's not. So not quite that big a win, but it's an exclusive. And it sounds like it's pretty good.
More people to pay.
You played.
Yeah, I played it. I played a lot of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all right. It feels like a game that was made. I mean, it doesn't look like it, but like this, the type of game it was. in like the PlayStation 2 era, GameCube era type of game, like a 3D platformer games that we don't really get a lot of. But it feels like that. And when I say that, this is what I get a little negative, that because it feels like, it came from that era, but it hasn't really evolved except for graphically.
Right.
It's good. I enjoyed it, but it's not evolution from those games, like how Ratchet and Clank did, with that genre, and how Mario does. What Mario do, because Mario 64 is not the same. I mean, you see the evolution of Mario of the 3D platform
Odyssey
from Galaxy,
is definitely more advanced.
Like Galaxy, Odyssey, even during Mario Sunshine, to some extent, it's something different. They had something different. Maybe you may not like it, but at least they try to make something different. But that's what Kena. Kena just feels like it's a very, I say, safe game. It's really, there's nothing really wrong with it. But if you never really played that type of game, I guess, like if you're a younger person who didn't play even those type of games back then I think you probably have a different experience, than someone who's like me who has.
Yeah, it's not breaking ground, but it's solid on its merits. So. Very nice. All right, next up, Dominic, another PlayStation exclusive, this time coming to the PC. It's official. PlayStation VR, that headset is getting an adapter. It's going to be $60 coming out on August 7th. You're going to be able to play your PC VR games with the PSVR 2. I think...
That should come with the game. I don't have to be a big game, but it was something.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like you just should get something with that.
Should I get a PC game with that, or should I get a PS5 game with that?
Well, I mean, PlayStation would have to do something.
Yeah.
I mean, whatever they do, I don't care if they give you a voucher or something, but this something where
here's $20 on Steam.
Yeah, I mean, just like that $60. I mean, you already paid, especially if you already just paid the $500 like from the beginning. It's like, come on. But I mean, I'm happy that they finally are doing it adaptive for PC. But the price is just, I don't know. Like, is it? I think the question is it worth getting a PSVR with the PC or getting one of these other VR headsets?
Yeah, I think that's definitely the thing. Right now, I look at it as this is definitely a good thing for people that already bought PSVR 2. They'll be able to expand their library out into the PC world if they have PCs, obviously, because the games are just not there, unfortunately, on the PS5, and it doesn't seem like they're making a whole lot of effort to get them there. We did see a couple of PlayStation VR games at the PlayStation Direct last week, but when you're investing that much in the hardware, you're spending just as much as you did on the console on an additional accessory. You're looking to be able to utilize it. Now, with that all said, it does seem like there's some unfortunate side effects that, they said in their blog post that, where is that here? Some key features like HDR, headset feedback, eye tracking, adaptive triggers, and haptic feedback, other than just like basic rumble, are not available when playing on the PC. Now, I do wonder if that's because the PC games that are available now are not programmed to use those features, and if there were games that came out with this headset in mind, or if there's some aspect of the pass-through that doesn't allow for that functionality. If that's the case, that's unfortunate. If it's the fact that, games just did not program with these things in mind, that I think is fine. We can then see games in the future hopefully utilize that. Now, obviously, this has a visually more impressive screen than we see on like the Quest 2 or the Quest 3. So there is some advantage of going this route over going that route. You obviously do have the other PC dedicated headsets though, like a Valve Index or something like that, where you might see a little more utilization, but I don't think even those have the quality of screen that you see in the PSVR 2. So, it's an interesting space that we're in now with this announcement. I really hope that the people that own these things can get some more utilization out of them. And, if this is kind of the best quality headset out there right now available to people, that we see developers on the PC developing with this in mind, so that we could see some of those features better implemented in those handhelds, or not handhelds, in those headsets rather. So yeah, that is the news that I saw this week, kind of worth mentioning outside of Summer Games Fest. So unless you had something else, Dominic, we'll get right into that.
Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, we can start with the news. Summer Game Fest news.
All right, so we're just going to kind of go down the list of games here. If there's anything that's particularly striking to you, absolutely call it out. First up, Lego Horizon Adventures. This had been rumored for quite a while now. We've mentioned it on this show. But
I thought it was a ridiculous rumor, because I was like, it's a ridiculous concept.
Yeah.
So it might just, people got confused. They heard Horizon and then they heard Lego something and they put it together. And boy, was I wrong.
You were wrong. It is coming to the PS5, PC, and Nintendo Switch this holiday, 2024. And it's, Horizon. You got Aloy, and it is a fully Lego world, which I greatly appreciate. Even the environments are designed in Legos, so it looks very good. It's going to have co-op online multiplayer included. And I'm still a little confused by the audience for this. It doesn't even seem like the combat system's going to be as advanced as like the latest in the Star Wars games, where they had kind of made it more of an action-based game. This looks like it's going back to that top-down kind of simplistic Lego game style. It's not even like, who is this game for? Like, obviously it's for kids and families, but like, the oversaturation of the Horizon brand, I think, is a little surprising. We got 1 and 2, and those are both solid games. We got the VR game, but we've also been told that, there's a multiplayer game in the works, and now we have this Lego Horizon game, and it's just like, do you guys realize that this isn't like as popular as you want it to be? Maybe I don't know. Am I just living in a bubble and like everyone else loves Horizon and the brand and the aesthetics?
I don't think it's a huge love for it like that. Like, this is a big like franchise.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think it's small, but I don't think it's to this level. Like that of all the games that are out there, that this will be the one to get it. It is a little weird. It is a little weird on that, but I mean, hey, it looks interesting. It looks, so that's cool. Like I said, I've been a big complainer about the Lego games not being online co-op. I mean, like, they're making excuses saying like, oh no, we want people to be couch co-op because that's like the way to play, and it's like, no, that's bullshit, because you can do both.
Exactly.
And it's like, you just don't want to have any servers or provide or just do that infrastructure for that or whatever. But so now that they got that, they are doing that with this game. That's pretty cool that you're playing as one of the characters I've seen. It might be, as a game, as we get to the game, it'd probably be multiple characters. Probably would just be those two. Like, because the other character was this black dude, which he appeared. I know him from the first game. I never played the second game, so I don't know what he does in that game. I'm sure he's probably in there. Mm-hmm. But yeah, he's a dude you meet in the game. So I was like, oh, that's cool that they have him partner with her, and you could just play around and do Lego stuff with it.
Yeah.
And it seems like it's an isometric view throughout. Yeah. I mean, at least from what we saw in the trailer. Yeah. Like, it's in that type of isometric action game view look. Not just the total 3D, like in the latest Lego game I can think of is the Star Wars one. That's not the Lego Racer. I don't think one came out since that Star Wars one,
no,
right?
I think that was the last one, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, and I mean, at least from the trailer, I didn't see it look like that. So, um, yeah, but it. I mean, it looked fine. I'm definitely curious how this game turns out.
Yeah.
I don't dislike Lego games. I like them, but I just get bored of them too fast before I
They're
finish.
simplistic.
Yeah, that's the only problem. Like the only one I really went through and finished more recently was the Lego Batman one,
The DC villains, right?
yeah, and and that was that was that DC villains, yeah, Justice League, yeah, DC Film, whatever it's called. Yeah, but that was the one I finished because the story was good.
Yeah,
the story was really good that I really wanted to get through it, and so like I always kept saying I want to get through the Star Wars one, and that was on Game Pass. I don't know if it's still on Game Pass anymore. So I was like, oh darn, I missed the boat. But it's just so hard, man. I mean, because that game is huge. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of collectible shit, and I just have to tell myself to avoid some of the collectible stuff. So you don't have to collect everything. Just go through the game. But yeah, man. Cool. This is cool. And it's coming on game. And it's coming on. Switch.
Yeah.
They say Xbox One. I don't appreciate that because hey, Xbox sharing their games.
Exactly.
Why can't you share games at Xbox?
I will say, like, the trailer
just
that they showed
we helped make Godzilla. That's because.
Yes,
it's
that's
because
why.
we helped create Godzilla over there. Like, and then they destroy their town and stuff. They still mad about that.
Yeah, the trailer seemed a little framey. Like, was this the Switch version that we were seeing? Because it didn't look particularly smooth for, a Lego game. Now, again, like, the environments are all Lego, so, like, maybe it takes a lot of power, but I would hope that game's a little smoother. What I do find funny, though, that you mentioning about the characters is, like, when I think back to, like, all the other Lego games, it really is about, like, having this roster of so many different characters, and that's not really what Horizon's about. Now, we did see, like, character customization stuff, so it's, like, just Lego-ass people where you got, like, the spaceman and the hot dog guy and stuff like that. But I feel like that's also just kind of funny seeing in the Lego Horizon world. Honestly, Dominic, the only thing I'm hoping for out of this is more physical Legos based on the Horizon dinosaurs because they just look cool.
They don't look cool to build, though. I mean, because not to say, because the way they structured in here, how do you... It looks like it's going to either be an easy build for the parts. If you look at the Tyrannosaurus Rex one, like around the neck area, or like even I don't know. Okay. Maybe, no. The Tyrannosaurus Rex one looks like it's a little better.
I feel like they just have so many bips and bops, and like because they're so dimensional that it would be like they would have clever uses of different parts to like make them,
Oh, okay.
movable and whatnot. So, all right, Dominic, next up after Horizon was No More Room in Hell 2.
Yeah, which I don't know one.
Yeah.
I don't remember one.
Same here. This is coming to early access Halloween of this year. It kind of reminds me of the like Left 4 Dead style thing. It's co-op survival horror game. You can play with 8 people. You're fighting zombies. You're scavenging stuff. It does have permadeath though, so that's
I don't know what that means. I mean, okay,
there.
permadeath. You die. So you just join somebody else's game then,
I guess, yeah.
Right?
Nope, you can never play the game ever again. You get one life in this game, Dominic. It's that Kojima game where he wanted the disc to explode in your console after you die.
And also, I mean, it says like it's a huge map. So I'm guessing it's not multiple maps. It's just one big, huge area.
That's what it seems like,
yeah. So you just, because I wonder like how does that work? Like, well, if I do another game, do I have to start from like I have to have a team of 8. I'm sure there's going to probably be matchmaking, but I'm saying like you have to wait for a team of 8 and then start, or a team can start
like jump in, jump out, co-op kind of stuff. Yeah, you would hope so. But
then I guess within that round, if someone dies, you can't somebody who just jumps in because that's supposed to be like, hey, you lost a member. It's supposed to be like that or something like that. I'm curious how that works. I'm just curious, how that all works. I mean, I understand the permadeath stuff because contending permadeath is not that big a. I mean, it's not bad.
Not a consequence in the way.
Yeah, I mean, it's a consequence for the people who still playing. That's really
exactly.
What it is.
That's what it's screwing over. So.
Yeah, that's essentially because I'm like gonna say, well, I'm just gonna join another game and play, and while you was like, darn, we're down people because they died.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's interesting. All right, next up, Dominic, was Harry Potter: The Quidditch Champions is coming to basically everything. September 3rd, it's going to have solo and co-op Quidditch matches. It looks kind of like a cartoony art style. Any interest whatsoever?
I don't know. I mean, if it was free to play, maybe. No, if there's something to buy, no. I'm curious about the rules though. If they do make it like, hey, you catch the
golden snitch,
snitch is automatic over, and I don't think it's gotta be super hard to catch it.
Right, can I choose who I'm playing as, and can I play as the catcher or whatever you call it, the seeker, and exclusively just go after that while I let my computer teammates just fail over and over again, or what is the gameplay of that look like? Because we didn't really get a glimpse of that in this trailer.
And there was a Quidditch game that came out years ago, and it wasn't that good. I don't think it got rated that good. They
had some Quidditch in Hogwarts Legacy too, right?
No, that was a complaint about it. People say they wanted Quidditch.
Gotcha. That's because they wanted to sell it to you as a separate game.
Yeah,
we've come to find out.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, Dominic. Next up was Cuff Bust.
This could be the next big thing, man. This could be the next big Rocket League or something.
It could be. I mean, if it's good, it could be. But we'll see. This next game we're talking about could be the next the Among Us. Yeah. So Cuff Bust, you're these little Sour Patch Kid looking koala dudes of multiple colors, and you're basically trying to break out of a prison, working together to do so. It looks interesting. It's made by a single developer. Jeff Keighley made a point a couple of times in the night to point out games that were made by single people. It definitely has the meme ability to blow up big if it plays well or is fun. But what did you think in general about this?
I mean, it looks like something that can be fun. Trying to break out of prison, doing these silly things and things. It looked like a fun game.
Yeah. It also has I think it would be fun to watch this on stream as people are arguing with each other about how to get out of the prison and stuff like that. So definitely think there's something there.
Between that and the other game we'll see later on. I mean, if you want to just talk about it now, the Bean one.
Yeah, Killer Bean.
I think I don't know. I got a Killer Bean again because I almost feel like I like the koala one better.
Yeah.
Than that one. I mean, watching. I mean, the Killer Bean one. Killer Bean
looks like it, for me at least, it would be more fun to play. I mean, it seems like it's single player oriented. It's a roguelike game.
But
the gameplay just looks like it's kind of tighter. It's got a thing that it's going for, and it looks like it's kind of like Matrix moves and Max Payne style almost, bullet time stuff.
Oh, for some reason I kept thinking this was a multiplayer game.
Yeah. Well, that's because you see lots of beans, but he's trying to kill the other beans. So, yeah, it's I wouldn't quite say Hitman because it doesn't seem like that methodical. It seems more action oriented, but yeah.
Yeah, because I wasn't watching when I was watching this. I didn't have no sound, so I didn't know what. I thought it was a multiplayer game. You were able to play as these beans.
Yeah, which, as you pointed out, look like McDonald's Chicken McNugget characters.
Yeah.
We're old enough to remember when McNuggets looked this way, Dominic.
Yeah, exactly.
When they came in our Happy Meals with their ghost costumes and their whatever else things. All right, next up, Dominic, was Star Wars Outlaws. We got a short trailer for this coming out August 30th. We saw Lando. He's in there, of course.
I didn't see Lando.
He's very briefly in there sitting at a table. This was basically a pre-trailer to the trailer that I'm sure we will see at the Ubisoft Forward. You know, Jeff Keighley said on June 10th, which will be Monday. You know, we'll be seeing more of this game there. So I'm sure we will have more to say about that when we see gameplay, more gameplay. I mean, it's like we haven't seen it before on the next podcast. Next up after that was Neva. That's coming out on PS5, Switch, Xbox, everything basically. It's a puzzle platformer game with combat this time, though, because it's from the developers of Grease, which is that very aesthetic watercolory platform game that came out years ago. A game that seemed like it would be cool, and then I played it and had no idea what I was actually supposed to do in it. So I kind of fell off of it pretty quickly. But this adds combat to that stuff. You have a wolf companion who fights with you. I think they showed some more of that off at the Devolver Direct. So once we check that out as well, I'm sure there'll be more to say about that. After that was Civilization 7, Dominic. It's basically just a cinematic trailer, just going through the different empires. And then there's a video of Sid Meier, who, man, he's looking old, which makes sense because he's 70 years old. I had to look up his age.
70?
Yeah, he's 70.
And so how old was he when we saw him? He was in his 60s? He didn't look like... I thought he might be in his 50s.
Nah, he was looking pretty good years ago, but granted, that was probably 10 years ago now? Something like that. So, yeah. So, man,
I'm excited for 7 because I'm gonna see what the improvements they've done, because there's been plenty of I don't want to call them copycats, but I mean because I don't know if he's even there in the first game, but in this, there's been a lot of games that's very similar to that that have done improvements.
Shit, we're gonna see Aura this year.
Yeah.
so
I want to know. I'm curious of what they've done to really improve themselves from their predecessors.
Yeah. All right. Next up was Black Myth Wukong. This is the Monkey Man game. It's coming out August 20th. That is the date. PC and PS5. And this was just a CG trailer of him pulling his staff out of his ear.
It's coming that soon. I'm guessing. Are we going to see it somewhere else where they show a lot of gameplay or something on it?
That's a good question. With it being PS5 and PC only, I could maybe see it showing up on the PC show or something like that. But yeah, I guess that is kind of weird that unless Sony is going to have another thing before August, where would we see this game again, really?
Xbox is going to show it off and then say it's only on PlayStation.
It's on Game Pass.
It's on, right.
It's on PlayStation only. We're also sharing our stage now because we've got nothing. We just needed the money. Yeah. So it looks like it could be interesting. I feel like we've seen some gameplay before, but I don't know that we've seen an extended look at that game. Next up was Once Human. This is coming to PC and mobile. It's coming out July 9th. It's multiplayer online survival game set in the post-apocalyptic future. Gave me very Terminator-y vibes. Wasn't much to this trailer. No real gameplay. Another just kind of CG spectacle. After that was Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2. That's coming out September 9th.
Space Marine.
We know what Space Marine is. It looks pretty cool. I'm excited to see how that game ends up reviewing, because that first game.
No Gears, since we don't know where Gears come out, and then this is going to be, what is it? 3-player co-op or 2-player co-op?
What was it? I remember seeing at least 2 players, but I can't remember if Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2 player count. Yes, feature 3-player co-op with either other players or AI. So you're right about that.
That's cool.
Yeah, fill that Gears space. Although I feel like, based on all the rumors going around, there may be a Gears game to potentially eat their lunch. Well, I say that, but like, we're not going to get that game this year, I don't think. So
no, I doubt it.
It'll give them some breathing room to
I'll be really surprised if they do.
Yeah. Shadow Drop. It's out now, Dominic. All right. After that was Metaphor ReFantazio. That's PS5, PS4, Xbox, PC. Coming out October 11th. That is the fantasy style Persona-ish game from the people that make Persona games. So they showed quite a bit of like menus and trailers, or menus and what looked like gameplay and stuff. How does that game look to you? Does it interest you in the way that Persona does, or is there like less or more?
Only because of the Persona name is attached to it. It really interested me. I mean, it does look all right, but if I never knew Persona, I would have never been interested in this game. Honestly.
Yeah, I got you.
But since I played Persona, I figured, I think it might be a game I like.
Mm-hmm. All right. Next up was Batman Arkham Shadow. Jeff Keighley introduces this like, we're going back to the world of Arkham. And then he's like, in this VR game. And you just hear the crowd like, They previously announced this. It's not like, what else were we going to do? Have Justice League, Suicide Squad kill the Justice League DLC or something? Like, what were people expecting there?
Now, I was looking at this thread, man, and like the guy was like looking at the Batman arcade, say like, "That's good." I said, "I hope." And they were talking about the Justice League. I mean, Suicide Squad. Oh yeah, I forgot to talk about that. That was the news.
Yeah,
about the Suicide Squad. About them. Why it turned out to be what it turned out to be what it is, and like what they went through, and we learned that. Like two prominent people of Rocksteady, they at least one of them I know they pushed it to be multiplayer.
Yeah.
To be
a live
like it
service
is
game. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, and actually, it wasn't even the multiplayer because I think they said they would do multiplayer, but he pushed it to be more live service, and then they leave. And this
even though apparently they didn't know anything about live service games too.
Yeah. And then, like I said, left, and it's been that people always thought like, they left because WB made them do this game they didn't want to do, and blah blah blah. But it turns out that's not true.
Yeah.
They're the ones who pushed it, and people still believe, even with the article, like I told you.
Yeah, people on Twitter.
I showed you the guy who actually responded to him, but the people who just they didn't bother read the article.
Nah,
or reading comprehension is really bad, which I don't know. I feel like if you read the article, there's no way you can. I don't know how you could interpret it that way.
Yeah,
like you're literally trying to fill in the blanks of something that is literally telling you what happened. So what are you really filling the blanks of? Right. Like because like in the article in the what was it?
What?
Forbes?
Yeah, Forbes article. Written by Jason Schreier.
Yeah, Jason Schreier is talking about how what the problems that went with the Suicide Squad, and like I said, it said that there was some other issues there too, but that was the one that really like jumped out at me because it was like, we're up here being WB, we're Warner Brothers and stuff for this, and it's really, and I'm not saying they're not culpable in some other way.
They definitely are, and the article says as much. They brought the idea of a Suicide Squad game to Rocksteady because they wanted to cash in off the success of the first movie.
Yeah. The first one. Darn, I thought it was like I guess it would have to be the first one.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Because the other one would have they should have been like in developing.
Yeah.
By the time the other one came out.
Yeah. Which would have been good if they would have been able to come in around that
it would have
game.
Worked out.
Yeah.
If this was a good game, like that wasn't what it was, it would have worked out because they had that. You had Peacemaker, so it would have actually worked in their favor.
Yeah.
with that.
Yeah,
but
it essentially sounds like they wanted to do something other than superhero games, so they weren't going to do like another Batman game, and the game that they had come up with was kind of middling, and then Warner Brothers presented them with this idea that they could make a Suicide Squad game, and they jumped on board, and they were like, all right, we're going to make a live service. And then there was even like these anecdotes about how one of the guys wanted to like add vehicles, even though everybody had their own like transversal abilities already. And it's like a lot of people wasting a lot of time on what sounded like bad ideas. And it's like you said at the beginning of this, like we're all sitting here thinking like, oh man, it's a good thing these guys got out of there. And looking forward to what they do next. Meanwhile, it sounds like their like incompetence in management may have led to the results that we got with this Suicide Squad game.
Yeah, because and people keep saying like some people were saying like, oh, Rocksteady getting back to doing another more Arkham game, like wanting to do that. And then there are people like, man, why care? The people who used to do those games are gone, and these are the ones who did the Suicide Squad. And just like I was saying, somebody says like those guys were the problem,
right?
Apparently, they helped with that problem. Like they did, so they're the one who pushed it for live service.
Yeah, it's so like give these guys that are left behind a chance to do something.
Yeah, exactly. And just like when I was in the car with you, listening to Jeff Gerstmann, I mentioned this up on our podcast too in the past, is that these studios, like how many people you think are really at these studios that used to be there from the beginning when the games you liked?
Yeah,
like people move on and stuff like that.
Especially like, the way this business has been lately.
Yeah, I mean, like people don't stay in these type of places forever, and just doing the same thing. Even people who probably were more in the development side, maybe by now, if it's been like 10 years or so, maybe they moved up. So then they're more of the people who tell people what to do, So, and sometimes that could work good or be bad
project
too.
managers and things of that.
Yeah. I mean, they could be maybe a good project manager. They could be a bad one. Doesn't mean because you developed a good game you can manage also. Because at the end of the day, when they were developing, someone was telling them what to do. So it's people gotta really stop looking at it like that. You just gotta look at. I mean, you can look at to see what the games produce because usually it's like, hey, what came before? People have something to look back to. So yes, I do look at it that way. It's like, okay, they got this thing they done before. They got to live up to the hype of that before, and plus they got the resources there where they can look back at what they've done to learn from what those people did and even mistakes and improve upon them.
Yeah.
Now sometimes that don't work out, and then I get mad. It's like, why didn't you? But it's not that they were the same people though either, or all the people are there. So, like, in this case, I could care less. Like, I'm just hoping for a good game. It doesn't matter that those guys are gone because, like I said, they one who pushed it. So it's like, well, then, I'm just looking for a good game now.
Yeah.
Like, I don't need it to be like, oh, the guys are gone, so they're not going to make it. No, I'm just going to give these guys a chance. Because, hey, actually, maybe it is a good thing y'all gone. I don't know. Who knows? Or something like that. And, and people, and another thing with the thread I was looking at, one of the guys were blaming the game on like, get back to Batman. Like nobody sees now people can learn that people don't like Harley Quinn as much as you think they do. And like somebody said, it's like, wow, you missed the whole freaking point. That's not why the game. This is not why people didn't like the game. It was because of Harley Quinn. Are you fucking serious? I was like, okay, if you don't like Harley Quinn, that's fine. But don't make it like this is why the game was bad.
Yeah.
Like, are you serious? Like, I don't know. Like, whatever. I mean, you feel like Harley Quinn, you like Harley Quinn. I like the character Harley Quinn. Like, I have no problem with her whatsoever. Mm-hmm. That damn sure wasn't a problem of the game. Like, I don't know what what are you talking about? like that's what a lot of people say. Like, what are you talking? Like, this is not why the game is done badly. It's because of the Suicide Squad. Because then, I guess it could be an argument that the Batman, the Gotham Knights, didn't do as well because it wasn't Batman. It was just his sidekicks in there. But not all Batman games. I mean, just the ones that Rocksteady had done, in recent times were great. But there were a lot of Batman games, and they weren't that good.
Yeah. What do you mean, Dominic? Batman equals good. That's it.
And come on, just like Spider-Man doesn't mean automatic seller either. I mean, I think you get some sales. I mean, there's a lot of Spider-Man games. There's a lot of Spider-Man games. Mm-hmm. Now, I ain't saying they all so suck. Like, I don't know how all those Activision Spider-Man games did, honestly, but I mean, I'm guessing they were as near as what the Sony one did.
Yeah.
Because I felt like we would have heard something. Like, if those were that big or something like that. I mean, yeah, I don't think it mattered. Like, the Suicide Squad being a game, I think that's fine. Yeah. Like, that's fine to me. It's just make a good damn game. That's really what it is.
Yep.
Because think about it. Years ago, before the Avengers shit, like, Iron Man, Captain America, they weren't that big.
No, absolutely not.
Those characters weren't that big. Like, they were, like, in the comic book scene, they were big when they first came out because the whole Avengers thing, they pushed, like, because that was new stuff. But after a while, it was just Spider-Man. It was Spider-Man and X-Men. Spider-Man and anything X-Men. Like, that was the big thing in Marvel. Like, because even I was thinking, like, damn, man, Iron Man, them, like, they're not like the, people don't look at them like the Justice League or something like that. Like, they don't look at that, as them. But they made it something where people, now they're very recognizable and bigger. In some cases, really the Justice League. Where they definitely wasn't. Avengers wasn't.
Exactly.
Yeah, it got to a point where Avengers got to be bigger than, as far as movie stuff, like how popular was like than X-Men.
And like,
and X-Men was like, it's like, as far as teams go, it was the biggest team. Like, that was the best team out there in the comic books. Like, from our 90s to like our basically adulthood.
Yeah,
was like the biggest thing.
Yep. And then they took him out of Marvel vs. Capcom, and we all forgot about him, Dominic.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, Dominic. So next up here, we got Street Fighter 6. We got new characters coming to that game. This year, we're going to see M. Bison and Terry Bogard from Final Fight. And next year, we're going to see Elena and Mai from Final Fight. So we're getting a lot of crossover there.
Yeah, exactly. Where's our Tekken crossover we're supposed to be getting?
We're never going to get that.
We got to get that Tekken cross Street Fighter crossover. We already got Street Fighter. It's been how many years, man?
Oh, Jesus.
Probably over 10 years.
It's been over 10 years because that game was talked about during like the Vita days, and we're talking about, or Vita or PSP? And no, Vita, because that one game did come out on the Vita. And we're talking about that stuff during the Flashback segments now. So, yeah, it's been way too long, Dominic. I mean, I guess you look at the games and how successful they've been as individual franchises, even as of late, and you can't help but go, yeah, I guess it makes sense because that one game that they made just kind of fell flat. So, just stick to your own things, I guess.
No, you force it. You force it down our throats.
Well, they did. I mean, they did what, Akuma in Tekken 6, and it sounded like everybody was pretty happy about that. So, I think that's the way to go. Like, add a couple of guest characters.
Yeah, I guess like with the Fatal Fury, what they're doing.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, that's quite a few though.
Yeah, because I wonder if they're going to continue to push these guys. And it's especially interesting with this new Fatal Fury game that they showed off a couple of games later, so we can just talk about that too.
They should add some Darkstalkers in there.
God, Dominic.
Add Felicia and that devil lady. What's
Morgan.
The devil lady name? Morgan.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely.
And I guess one of the male characters too.
Yeah. Throw Dimitri in there. Yeah.
The werewolf.
What's that? Oh yeah, what was his name? Shit, I can't remember.
Wolfman. His name's Wolfman.
Yeah, because there was
like,
him.
That doesn't sound Japanese enough.
There's the mermaid guy.
I'm just surprised of Morgan.
Yeah, I think it was very much like based on like that kind of like vampire mythology is why they went with that. Because the younger girl is Lilith, which is another very basic kind of that style name. So, all right, Dominic, next up was Tears of Metal. This is a medieval hack and slash co-op roguelike. It takes place in Scotland. There are a lot of redheads menacing each other. It's coming out on PC. It has a very unique art style, but it is very ugly.
Oh, you think it's really ugly?
I thought it was very ugly. It just has it's very unappealing.
I gotta see. Man, what's that timestamps to tell me where it is?
In the GameSpot full presentation one, they do have time. They have chapters.
Oh wow! Well, let me go to theirs then.
Yeah, so it's in that video. It's at around 29, 30.
Because I know what you're talking about. I just want to see it again.
Yeah.
But because I think I was listening to that one, and I actually thought it was. Oh yeah, this definitely does. Okay, Fit of Fury, ad block, which is Mecha Break.
It's funny though because it does. It says ad block. Like I was like, am I blocking ads? Is that why it's telling me that? Oh no, it's a block of ads. That's what it is.
Yeah. Oh darn! And did I go past it? Where did you? Oh, here it is. Oh, okay. This game, not this thing. This is not the one I thought I was thinking of. Tears of Metal. Yeah, this is yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah,
it's grimy looking.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that's what they're going for.
Yeah, no, absolutely. They're nailing that. It's just.
I mean, there are ugly people though. the Scottish people are pretty ugly.
Yeah, rude. All right, next up, Dominic, was Dragon Ball Striking Zero. I was trying to figure out if this was like Dragon Ball Fighter Z. Or Sparking Zero. What did I say?
Striking Zero.
Striking Zero. Okay, yeah.
There is a strike. Isn't it a striking something? I think that was Naruto though.
Yeah,
Striking Force or something.
I don't get what this game is because is it just another Dragon Ball game?
Yes, it's another Dragon Ball game, 3D-ish. Those 3D-ish fighting games.
Yeah,
and it seems like they have the traditional story, but it seems like you can change it.
Okay.
Just like the Xenoverse, right? I mean, that was a whole time travel thing where you can go like, oh, you're trying to make it right while somebody else has changed it. This one seems like you can. I saw him turn Super Saiyan, and earlier I think it was earlier than where he could.
Okay.
So it's like you can do things at different timelines or something. I think that's what it seemed like in the trailer, at least. I mean, it's probably definitely if you go site somewhere to explain more about what you could do. But I guess people just don't like fighters, huh? I mean, because how many games have we had Dragon Ball since Fighters, and we have not gone back to the 2D? And I'm like,
feels like there's been at least 3.
Oh God darn! I mean, it's like
if we're counting
really
the mobile game.
This game where the camera just could like I guess you don't just. I mean, hey, I like Dynasty Warriors, so I guess that's what it is with these people. But it's more y'all fans of this shit. Yeah. Like fighting a game where the camera just goes all over the place, and I don't know, man. I mean, it looks cool on the outset. Playing is kind of just wow. Like I don't hate it. I definitely don't hate it because I enjoyed what I played of Xenoverse. But I just also knew that it wasn't a great game either. Like that's just seemed like if I'm doing a fighting game, that's the way to go. If Dragon Ball was made like a real action game where you just fight people and stuff like that, but then again, that wouldn't make sense because in Dragon Ball you're always just fighting 1-on-1 in the show. So that's why I always thought like making a Dragon Ball game would have to be a fighter. And then a fighting game like that, to me, it has to be 2D. I don't like the 3D stuff.
Yeah.
But my friend likes it. Well, he likes that stuff.
It's just more so like Tekken works, right? Because it's mostly melee hand-to-hand stuff. But when you start adding Kamehamehas and spirit bombs and stuff like that, yeah, it feels like you really need to be on a 2D plane to have control of where those moves are going to hit and things of that nature.
Yeah, I mean, they cheat. I mean, what they do is that auto aim. I mean, with the stuff. That's really what they do.
But then it makes the game feel like it's more on autopilot, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, I think that's what it is.
Yeah. So it becomes less skill based.
It's automatic drive. I mean, it's automatic drive. That's all like cars.
Yeah. I also love the screen where it's like pre-order now, 6 characters early unlock, and then it's like, okay, Goten, I think that's Goten, right? Or Gogeta. The one between Vegeta and Goku when he's got the little vest on. Gogeta, and it's like black hair, blonde hair, blue hair. And then Broly, black hair, blonde hair, instinct hair, or whatever he's got. And it's like, okay, you're really trying to sell me on this pre-order.
Yeah, the pre-order bonus.
Pre-order,
that's so ridiculous. I swear to God. No.
6 characters, huh? You mean 2 with different styles?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's such bullshit.
That's what always drove me crazy about the Dragon Ball games is you treat these guys like they're different characters when it's like, I should start with black hair every fight and then I should, have to power up throughout.
But they feel like then the fight, you probably can beat up Wolfie winning. The fight goes too fast and you don't be able to power up to that.
I mean, that's the thing that they need to figure out is like, how do you balance that?
They did, Dane.
Did they? In Dragon Ball Z Fighters?
Yeah, okay, yeah. The character. That's what they figured it out.
I gotcha. I should have to do like a DDR style, input code during the loading screen to decide which level of power I can reach if I do it properly. All right. Yeah, so that's Dragon Ball again. There have been like 6 movies since the end of like what you and I originally would consider Dragon Ball. And like it feels like a lot of what they were showing off in this game was original saga, and it's like, what are we doing? Like, I thought people liked some of this stuff. I mean, obviously this is the new version of Broly, so like they're doing something there, but I don't know, man. I guess
I mean, we had that Kakarot saga, right?
Yeah.
Which is so funny how they say that Kakarot, Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. It was like that's Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
Period. That's whole Dragon Ball. That's Dragon Ball. Period. Everything Dragon Ball is fucking Kakarot. It's based on him.
Yes, it is. All right, Dominic. Let's see. Next up was Delta Force Hawk Ops. This is coming to the PS5. It's a first-person tactical shooter, basically. Black Hawk Down. Looks like a military shooter.
This is PS5 exclusive?
I believe it is, yeah.
Is it their game or is it?
I don't think it's their game. I think it's just, it's maybe
so they finally got the shooter.
It's also on PC.
Oh.
Epic Store.
Never mind.
It's doing alpha
you can still say that.
No, it's on Xbox too. I'm sorry.
They don't got the shooter yet.
These the notes I have here are somewhat incomplete. All right. Yeah, I mean, it looked pretty. It did showcase well, but like, I don't know how much I believe that those graphics were like necessarily real.
Can you shoot those kids?
I don't know.
Or will it be like
censored?
No.
Oh, this was America, Dom.
You can't shoot. Like we hit the trigger button.
Yeah,
you just won't, nothing
it puts
will happen.
a little X over it, like Call of Duty would. Yeah.
Or you can shoot. And they say, don't shoot the civilians.
The screen goes black. It makes you start over again.
Yeah, and nothing really happens. Because you don't see the kids even get shot. It just says, don't shoot the civilians. That's some bull crap. Say, no. I wanted to be just like real war, where you have I accidentally kill some kids, and then I have to freaking like get help when I come back home because that's all I can think about. Is all I see is dead kids.
That's the evolution of these games, Dominic.
Yeah.
All right, next
that's
up,
the VR game. The VR game.
Geez, yeah. Next up is Fatal Fury, City of Wolves. We mentioned that earlier. That's coming out early 2025. This looks like basically their Street Fighter 4, I would say, like their reinvention of the series. Yeah. It feels like. So good for them. Obviously, they got partnership going with Capcom to get some word of mouth there. So, yeah. All right, next up after that was, let's see, Battle Crush. This is coming out early.
It was an
access.
Adobe. I'm looking at the. Oh,
are you looking at Adobe? Ad?
Yeah, yeah. the Adobe Atmos. I thought that was their own.
They get enough, ad money. I think they're doing fine. They don't need us to be talking about them too. This is like top down and looks kind of like I don't know, almost like a Diablo or a Hades, but multiplayer fighting game. Almost maybe what's the Dreamcast one?
Dreamcast.
The
Power
fight.
Stone?
Yeah, Power Stone. Almost like that.
What game is this called?
This is Battle Crush.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's
Battle Crush. I dare.
It is also on mobile, which I think.
Are you ahead? Because
I am currently looking at Mecha Break. I've got mine on like 2 times speed. So
yeah, I'm on Mecha Break too.
Okay.
It was something before Mecha Break because all I see is Fatal Fury, then Ad Block, and then Mecha Break.
It was part of the ad block. So, oh man, I'm doing the thing, Dominic. I'm giving them time in the ad. All right, let's move on from them then. We said nothing about Battle Crush. All right, Mecha Break, Dominic, August 2024 for the beta test. This just looks like Gundam. Like, I thought that's what this was. I thought it was going to be like an official Gundam thing. It's going to have player versus player and player versus enemy versus player.
You got to know your Gundams, Daniel, because Gundams have they have a look to them. And
I don't know. This looked pretty Gundam-y to me, Dominic. I'm clearly not well versed, I will say.
They look the bad guy Gundams then. That's what it look like.
Oh, okay.
I know. I mean, it's the face of a Gundam looks kind of similar, but yeah, it is a mech. It's basically a mech, a mech battle thing. And is it coming out on everything?
I believe it is coming out on the new stuff.
Okay.
PC and PS5 and stuff like that.
And Switch too.
Or it might just be PC. So I didn't mention it during the Horizon thing, but I almost feel like, okay, it's coming to Switch, but like that's going to be a Switch 2 game, right? Like,
yeah,
I don't know if they're going to do like an update for it or just try and resell it as a Switch 2 game or what, but that very much feels like where that should be. Because somebody pointed out on Reddit, like, you're doing the work to put it out on the Switch, but you're not doing the work to put it out on the PS4. That seems kind of weird. So, I don't know, Dominic. Conspiracy theories.
The PS4? I mean, they're trying to get you to move away from it.
They're trying to, but it's not like that game's going to make you do it.
No, it's not.
So, like, if you want the most amount of people to buy that game, you're gonna buy it on the PS4 for your kids. Because you bought a PS5 and you moved the PS4 into your kids' room anyway. So, all right, Dominic. After that was the Blumhouse Games Showcase. Blumhouse is a horror movie studio. Basically, they've been putting out things like Megan, and there's another one that has been pretty prominent as of late. And they're publishing games now, and they didn't just come out with like one game. They came out with like 3 or 4 small projects that.
Oh, so these are each project.
Yeah, I was confused by it too because I thought
like one game.
Yeah, I thought like, because at one point like somebody's saying like about a game developer or something like that, and I was like, oh, am I playing as a game developer? And all of these things that I've seen are a game that like can be or is developed by this game developer in the game, but no, it's multiple projects. And they look interesting. There's a whole wide array of things from pixel art stuff to more 3D environments and some down res stuff. So yeah, there's definitely an interesting concoction there. And we see this a couple of times during the show of publishers announcing their intentions to basically start focusing on smaller indie games and making those a bigger deal, which is nice. You know, the people making money off of their games, then taking that money and turning it around and using it for good. So that's awesome. Let's see. Next up was Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Rita's Revenge. This is side-scrolling beat 'em up, basically coming from the guys who brought you such beat 'em up hits as the Space Jam game, which, like, despite what it was a free game for the Xbox.
I never played it, so
and it was pretty cool. Okay. It's Digital Eclipse that's working on it. They're the ones that've been doing a lot of. They did the Turtles collection, the Retro Turtles collection. They didn't do the new Turtles game though. They also did. I think they did Atari 50 and stuff like that. But yeah, this game looks pretty cool. It's even got the like Battletoads-esque like first person perspective things in some places where you're like fighting as the Megazord and you're punching in first person. So that seems kind of cool. I'm definitely interested to see how that game turns out. After that was Deer and Boy. This is coming to the PC. This is like a very cinematic platform game. It's got a mood. It's in the trailer. You see this little boy.
It's like an artsy-fartsy sappy game, right?
It does. It very much seems like that. Maybe you use this deer to help you solve puzzles. But then it also gets like kind of supernaturally. So, you know, there's some elements there that look like it could go some odd places. So it seems like it could be cool. Next up was Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. That's an action RPG set in a realistic world of the late Middle Ages. Dominic, did Kingdom Come ever do anything for you?
Daniel, I don't even remember Kingdom Come.
I do vaguely remember Kingdom Come because... Did you? Or were you asking?
I
don't think so. No. I don't think you did.
Oh, you mean just seeing Kingdom Come? Okay.
Any thoughts on that game at all?
No. It's just it looks like a very serious game, but this trailer, I think this is the game. Like, because I didn't know Kingdom Come had a lot of voice acting and stuff in there.
Yeah, I didn't recall it having a lot of that, but I also might be confusing it with another one of these medieval games.
Is it what's it called? Darn, I gotta look it up. I think I know you're talking
because I think that's multiplayer one. That's what I'm thinking of.
Chivalry or something?
I think I confused this one with Chivalry a lot.
And Chivalry, it's like a part 2, right?
Yeah, I think Chivalry 2's out now too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's definitely out. I was just trying to think like what was it called or something. But all right, yeah. So
Chivalry 2, I think less chivalrous.
Now, so I might look back at Kingdom Come just because of how this looked. Because I don't remember the other trailers looking like this.
Yeah, because this almost makes it look like, hey, it's Witcher.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially with its adult-oriented content here. Which I didn't catch a glimpse of the first time, but this time, saw that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
All right, Dominic. Next up was Slitterhead. This is coming out November 8th. It is it's definitely a thing. There's some weird...
It looks like one of those Asian movies I be seeing on Netflix. Yeah, because it's been like a slew of Asian television or movies that's been really like showing off on these Netflix and HBO
especially,
and this would kind of reminds me of those.
Yeah, I don't understand exactly what it's supposed to be. Like, it seems like it's an action game, But then, like, are you actually moving around the environments much, or are you just kind of like focusing in on these enemies? Definitely weird bug-like zombie things, though. So
yeah, like these creatures that these humans, like some kind of disease or virus or whatever entity, causing some humans change to monsters, and then you can possess people and even change yourself, like to not ugly monsters, but have special abilities in that nature.
Yeah.
You can possess a dog, I see right here.
As we all want to, Dominic. All right. Next up, this is where Killer Bean was. So we're going to skip over that. Next was Karen. This is a mountain climbing game, basically, and they showed more of that at Day of the Devs. It's coming out in 2025. It kind of reminds me of all the
Karens out there, because we all be just...
Yes, we're going to refocus our...
We always make fun of Karens.
Yeah. Now we can't, because it's serious about this lady's mom. I always thought of a Karen with
the K. Yeah, honestly.
Yeah,
not with the C. And I think that's why they did that. It probably was with the K. Now they probably said, "No, we got to change to the C one."
It's just about a woman named Karen climbing up a mountain.
Yeah. So the climbing. It looks. I could kind of see how it go. I wonder if it's like Octodad or something, or the other game that we played. What was it? With the skeleton man, and you're like you lost your bones.
Something Nathaniel. Something annual.
Yeah.
Manual.
I said Manuel.
Samuel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the way her legs were moving, I was wondering if it's something where you kind of press the button to walk you have to move your leg up, because it's the way it's moving is kind of that kind of movement, like what you have to do with a controller, or something.
Yeah, it definitely looks more like deliberate than like, hey, you're Nathan Drake and you're just climbing,
just moving
sheer mountains with no problem at all. It also seems like you maybe like get more powerful by training, because like she's doing push-ups and then going back at it again. So I wonder if it's like Metal Gear Solid 2, where you got to climb over the edge and you got to work on your grip strength so you can hang longer or something like that.
Also, now it kind of reminds me, maybe remember the climbing game that was last year that came out.
Yeah, Jusan,
Yeah, made for the guys who did Life is Strange, was it?
Yeah. I think it came from that same.
What's the Stanley Parable game here?
Is that the next one up? The Wonder Stop?
Wonder Stop?
Yeah.
Wonder Stop.
It's like a farming sim, but you're also like, you're making tea. So you're like,
but it looks like something happens at the end here. Tea. Like she get the anxiety or something like that. I don't know.
We've all been there. We can't make tea as well as we want, and then a sword comes through your mind or something like that. Yeah, so that's coming to PS5 and PC in 2024.
I hope it's. I have a feeling like, even though I hear her voice in this, I don't know if there's going to be voice acting in it, because the guy, you had to read what he said.
Yeah.
And I was like, that was like, I hope he talks. Hope he find voice acting.
Yeah, AI voices. I mean, what? Yeah. All right. Next up, Dominic, Unknown 9 Awakening. We've seen this game many times before. It's basically the kind of action game where you're going out through the past and you're a young woman that's able to like do ghost things almost. Like, you can almost use it like a strategy game where you're like possessing these people. And then,
what is she supposed to be? Is she Indian?
I think that's the impression that I got.
Okay. Oh.
Yeah, from the early trailers, because this is the one where we see her as like a young girl, and then she goes into the past later when she's grown up a bit. And
it looks like the white people are the bad guys, Daniel.
I mean, they usually are, especially in history, Dominic, as it turns out. History does not treat us well. Let's not look back fondly on our accomplishments.
Donald Trump will fix it, Daniel.
Yeah. All right. I did find it fun. I wasn't going to mention it, but I did find it funny in Louder Milk where he's talking to Allison and she's like, this isn't a good time. He's like, yeah, with the whole Donald Trump thing. It's like, not what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
All right. Next up was Nordtria, the last song. This looks like a Bloodborne or a Dark Souls type thing, but like in more like Italian style setting, like with the masks and the whatnot that you see in like that kind of stuff. Which is cool because, like, outside of Assassin's Creed, I feel like you don't really see much of that setting. And even then, this is, like, kind of a little further.
Yeah. Yeah, you only see Italians as the mafia. And, you know,
exactly.
or plumbers. You only see them as plumbers or the mafia.
Regardless of the game, they love pasta, though.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, Dominic, was the First Descendant. This is a game we've seen before. It's coming out July 2nd, though. I don't think I realized how soon it was coming out. This is third-person sci-fi loot shooter. It just initially seeing it again, I'm like, are they showing Stellar Blade? Because it's an attractive lady in a skin-tight mech suit.
Right? You talking about?
Yeah, First Descendant. Yeah. I could be interested in seeing what this is more. Yeah, show me more gameplay.
Yeah, exactly. I just want to see some more gameplay. It's not these cutscenes.
Yeah, it's just very much a lot of things that I know I won't be doing in the game, like flipping over banisters while shooting people.
Yeah, I'll do them. I'll do them. I'll try to shoot people up. I'll just be flipping. And this jump, which is me probably just, I'm curious. Is it third person?
That's a good question.
Because
I feel like previous things we've seen it was.
I have to pretend I'm flipping when I just hit the jump button.
Exactly.
It's
like, you're just doing it in your living room. All right. Next up after that, Dominic, we found out that Inner Sloth, the team behind, I don't know why I always Among Us. They are doing a publishing thing. Basically, they're going to have a company called Outer Sloth, and they're going to be giving indies money to make games, which is cool because they've made a lot of money off of that game. And
so these two people are okay. Oh yeah.
Yep. Yeah. So. That is very cool. They also showed off, I think, around this time, a clip of the Among Us television show, which is hilarious because, like, the end of the trailer is like a just list of names, like Patton Oswalt and blah blah blah, like all these people that we recognize, right? But the entirety of this trailer, there's not a word spoken. So it's like,
I was curious.
What are you going for?
They have voices.
Yeah.
They're in the costumes, Daniel.
They're okay. That's what it is. Got it.
They've been drawn, but they also they drew the stuff over them too. So,
gotcha.
It's their likeness is under the mask of the Among Us.
So when we see their bone skeletons, it's just going to look like the bone skeleton, Patton Oswalt or Yvette Nicole Brown. Got it. That'll be great.
Yvette Nicole Brown. She's another one. Oh, no,
I shouldn't have said it. I shouldn't have said the name. This is one of the ones I remembered. I'm sorry, Dominic. All right. Next up, Dominic, Sonic X or Cross Shadow Generations. This one got a pretty big pop. I was surprised at how into this the fans were.
I mean, Sonic is coming out October most popular 25th. Guy in gaming.
Yeah.
Next to Gex.
It goes Gex, Bubsy, Sonic. Got it. All right. Next up was Dune Awakening. This was just a CG trailer. It's coming out on PC. It's an open world survival MMO set in the Dune universe.
Oh yeah. I mean, this is off topic. Like, you gotta look at one of the latest Red Letter Medias because they do a discussion about how to save the movie theater, which it was good. It was pretty good.
I think I saw that, but I hadn't watched it yet.
Oh, okay. But they had a clip of like people in movie theaters like reacting and stuff, and they had one where the kids were all clapping and yelling when they saw Shadow at the end of Sonic 2. And I'm just like, wow, that's when I'm like, oh, I'm done. They like, this ain't, after Sonic 2 is over. It's like because this ain't for me no more. It's like this ain't nostalgia for me. They did it. Knuckles was the guy.
Yeah.
I don't know no Shadow. I don't know who the Shadow is. It's like nope. It's always just Mecha, the Metal Sonic for me. Yeah. Metal Sonic was my thing.
Which they didn't even do yet. Come on.
I know. And then Metal Sonic or what's the other guy we're supposed to have now back from the Triple Trouble? From the Game Gear one, you
not said, Silver, is it?
Yeah, Silver.
Silver.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I know Silver more than Shadow.
I just know Shadow is the Sonic with the guns.
People there, all those kids were all screaming like, "Ah!" It's like, oh my god, no, no.
All right, Dominic. Next up was Battle Aces is coming out on PC. It's closed beta in June of this year, which, as it turns out, is this month. So they're doing it very soon. This is just an RTS game, but like it seems like it's supposed to be more fast paced. They're like, we just want to use the fun elements of RTSs, which I guess they're.
Was
fun
this the
elements.
ad? The Dune Awakening?
The Dune Awakening. I said Dune Awakening. I had mentioned it.
Okay.
It's just a CG trailer. There's not, much to it. It's an MMO survival thing. Just you got Paul talking about how things went real bad. That's what happens when you follow the scripture or whatever, Dominic. Things always turn out bad. So, kill all the Fremen. He knew he was going to do it. He saw the visions. All right. After Battle Aces, Dominic, was Alan Wake 2. You had Sam Lake come out. He's like, yeah, we're doing a physical edition of Alan Wake 2, because I always forget that they never did that. It was an all-digital game up until now, so they're going to be putting out...
I didn't know that at all.
Yeah, they're putting out special edition and collector's editions of that game, and they're also coming out with DLC. You're going to be playing as 3 different characters.
And it's crazy. I'm looking at freaking like that was him and Max Payne. It's like
that's his constipated face.
I just think of Max Payne. It's like, that's Max Payne.
Yeah, I really hope in Max Payne, in the remakes or whatever that they're working on right now, they just use his face still. I mean, obviously they used his face in Alan Wake 2.
It was Mark Wahlberg, right? They're going to use Mark Wahlberg's face.
Nah, I was supposed to... Oh, jeez, no. Maybe they can actually get Bruce Willis's face. Felt like that's who it was always supposed to be.
Oh, yeah, that's cool, yeah.
They can get his likeness rights nowadays, I feel like. But yeah, this DLC is gonna have 3 playable characters, one of which is the protagonist from Control. So they're connecting all that stuff together, and that is going to be out by the time you hear this podcast, because it is coming out today, the day we're recording this podcast. So that's kind of cool as a not quite shadow drop. Okay. Yeah, so in this you can play as, there's going to be basically 3 episodes. There's like a waitress that you play as, who's like Alan Wake's #1 fan. Like I mentioned, you can also play as the main character of Control, or you can play as Shawn Ashmore, the guy who played Iceman and has been in, several of these games now. But it seems like you're actually playing as him and not the character that he played in Alan Wake 2. So They're definitely going a little out there, as Sam Lake said. So it's pretty cool. I didn't see on... It says at the end of the trailer that it's exclusive to the deluxe edition. So I don't know if that means you can only play this if you buy the deluxe edition. And I was just looking on the Epic Store. They have an upgrade to the deluxe edition, which currently is on sale for $16. But I don't know if that's how they're treating like their expansion pass, basically, or if when this quote unquote drops, if it'll actually show up as a DLC that you can purchase individually.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Blah, 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 blah. All right. After that, Dominic, was Dark and Darker. This is a first-person fantasy-based dungeon crawler extraction game. It's coming out June 7th. Any interest whatsoever there?
Hold on. I think I was looking at it. New Atrium you're talking about?
What is this game called? Darker and Darker. Dark and Darker.
So New World Atrium wasn't a game worth mentioning?
No, I didn't.
Oh.
It's
so why Darker and Darker is more interesting then?
New World Atrium is the New World Amazon game expansion.
It's a New World. Yeah. I thought that's what it's called. And Honkai Star Rail is just
Honkai Star Rail is Honkai Star Rail. So
yeah. Not really. Yeah.
Okay.
That's it. I mean, Vanquish or Perish. I mean, what is it? Is it a basic dungeon crawler, first person shooter?
So it's essentially like I forget what that extraction game is now that is pretty popular. It's that first person shooter game, but it's basically like a fantasy version of that, a melee based version of that. I don't know why I'm blanking on the name. All these freaking games, extraction shooter. I'm gonna be mad when I see the name of it too. Escape from Tarkov. So that's a very popular one of these. Yeah. But they're basically doing kind of a fantasy take on that, which I think is creative, but it's also not something I'm particularly interested in there. So, all right. So that is a free-to-play game, though. So at least there's that. Which, I mean, they've got to be nowadays. I feel like to compete in the like live service style market nowadays, like you either have to have something that is extremely interesting, like concept wise, or you have to be free to play. All right. After that, Dominic, was the release date for Kinitsugami Path of the Goddess. This is the Capcom game, I believe, that is coming to Game Pass. The one that we keep seeing is like what looks like a pretty cool action game, but I think is not so secretly anymore. I think if you realize what the game is or have found out what the game is and you see this trailer, you kind of notice it, but it's doing that Brutal Legends thing where it's like, oh, it's an action game, but not really. It's a tactical game, but has action elements to it. There's definitely stuff in this trailer that kind of shows more of those elements. So I wonder how this game turns out. Brutal Legend wasn't bad because of that, but I think they did a poor job of setting expectations, and I think this game might have similar issues when it comes out.
Yeah.
All right, next
So it won't be my Stellar Blade then.
It might not be your Stellar Blade. Could just be as sexy though, Dominic.
And it's 2 minutes to get it, and plus they're wearing too much clothes.
I don't know. You gotta buy that DLC. All right, next up after that was they had this little like skit with I think his name's Tim Heidecker, right? Doing like an intro thing for Skate, the new EA Skate game. Basically, basically like, oh, we're working in this corporate dystopia, but like outside in the real world, you can skate. And you can skate with your friends and climb all over things. And there's just this one part of the trailer where like these guys are skateboarding downhill and next to them is just this guy rolling down the hill. And it's just like, okay, I guess that could be fun.
So did it show any gameplay?
Not gameplay. I mean, they show stuff that looks like it's in the world while the game is being played, but nothing like of what it would look like while you're playing it. That game has been in like PC playtesting for quite a while now. This was basically the announcement that they were going to be doing console playtesting in the fall. So it seems like it's coming along. I don't know. Skate was never really my thing, though. It was a little too technical for me. So, give me a new Tony Hawk. and make it good. That's what I'd prefer. After that was the Pal World Sakurajimi summer update that's happening on June 27th. It's going to add new pals, new factions, new bosses, stuff like that. There's a new island, I believe. So yeah, more of that. After that was some Valorant. They're doing a console versions of that game now. They're going to go in limited beta on June 14th for the PS5 and Xbox One, or not Xbox One, Xbox Series. So we were talking about that game earlier. It seems like it's very popular. So getting that game on consoles is probably the right idea. Get more people to play it. After that was Monster Hunter Wilds. That's coming out in 2025. It's Monster Hunter. They teased having more information at Gamescom. So cool.
Yeah, and I guess the with the cats, I forgot what they call them.
I was gonna say pals, but that's not right.
But they are you can customize them more, I guess, and now they can talk.
Can I turn them into dogs? Can I customize them to look like a dog?
Because there are dogs in there, and dogs aren't as smart as cats.
Yeah, and you got to ride the dogs, right?
Yeah.
I mean, at least they're being useful, unlike the cats.
Wait a minute, you can ride the dogs?
I thought I saw you riding a dog in one of these trailers.
Oh, maybe you can. I just don't remember. I remember the dog being with you. Maybe you can. Yeah, maybe that was a way to get around faster. Yeah. Yeah. You ride the dogs. Yeah. No, that's Power World. No, this is what I'm looking at right now because I was about to say, you ride the dog. Oh, but,
there you are, right there, riding the dog.
But yeah. So good for Monster Hunter. I mean, it's nothing. Yeah, because I already know what Monster Hunter is, so it's not my type of game.
Same.
But good for those people who are really into it. And that's something to look forward to.
And that last one was super popular, so. And good for Capcom. Make money so that you can make games that I like instead. Or in addition to, I should say.
Okay, so now I see something in Power where it says new subspecies. What does that mean?
That means evolutions, Dominic.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
That's the only thing I can think of it mean. What does it mean?
It's got to be what it means. It means you can transform them somehow. So they're getting closer and closer to Pokemon, Dominic.
Yeah, it says June 27th. It was the Sakajumara update or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. All right. I mean, that's good for that game too.
And then the last game of the show was Phantom Blade Zero. That is, I don't think that was.
No, I didn't see this. I didn't see this yet.
A game that I was expecting to kind of close out the show. It was kind of weird.
Is this Dark Souls?
It's like Sekiro, which it's like Dark Souls but samurais, which that's what Sekiro was, right? Yeah. So I don't know how this differentiates from that really, outside of just not being from.
Well, I didn't see Japanese language happen while I cut the guys up.
That's true.
I can see some there's some Japanese writing comes on the screen or something.
That's not to say this game doesn't look good. I mean, not that it's my play style though, but it does visually.
It looks like what you think also a game like Dark. I mean, like it's gritty, has that gritty, really dark look to it. I mean, but graphically it does look good, and I like Sekiro. And yeah, that's what it looks like. So now it's but that's not a game I enjoy Sekiro, but I was cheating. So that's really one of the big reasons I liked it. And then I like the story more than a Dark Souls story. Not saying the story was great or anything though, but I just it was a story I could understand, even though it is forgotten. I forgot what it was about, but. Yeah, they're just not my type of games, man.
Yeah,
I try to get through Elden Ring, man, and it's I just don't know what's I need a story. I need something to motivate me to go on. I had no motivation because I don't know what it's why am I doing where like a game is like you, like I don't know why I'm doing what I'm doing. Why am I going around just killing guys?
I feel like what you need to do, Dominic, is like a primer for playing that game is watching like a YouTube video where some guy explains like what the story is supposed to be, or at least what he interprets the story as. Because then you can be like, oh, I kind of get, I'm getting, you can pick up on some of the like subtle things more.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that would maybe work for me too. Is like, oh, if maybe I did that, I could maybe be a little more into this. Because I was talking to a guy at work yesterday about, like what he likes about the games and how like, oh, this in the Erd tree, it's alluding to this and that and this. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. I'm glad that exists for you. Because I just die and then go like, maybe I'm going in the wrong direction. And then I go in the other direction and I also die. And then I'm like, you know what? Maybe this game sucks. And then anytime anyone brings it up, I go, oh, that game just sucks. And they're like, you don't even play it. And it's like, exactly, because it sucks. I know better than you. All right, Dominic. I feel like because of the nature of like the Alan Wake DLC coming out today, the following day, I feel like that would have been maybe a better show finale. You also have Sam Lake there. They like him a lot. We like him a lot, as far as like as a character. He's a known developer. I feel like that would have been maybe a more impactful close to the show. But based on what I've been reading recently about like how much people pay for the spots that they're getting in the Keeley, the summer Keeleys, maybe the Phantom Blade Zero just got the most money. So
and people are into that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it does look like a cool game. It just seems like it's a known quantity, I guess is what I'm saying, even though this isn't the first time we're seeing it.
I totally understand what you're saying. Yeah.
So, yeah, but there wasn't anything big. There was no huge surprise this year, really, outside of the Lego, thing, which had been rumored forever. And I think kicking the show off with that's definitely a good idea. I don't think you close the show on that game. That would have been not necessarily disastrous, but people would have come out of that show a lot less positive, I think, if you had closed the show with that trailer. So overall, what'd you think, Dominic? Good, bad, ugly?
No, it's okay. It was okay.
Yeah.
It was a fine show. It showed games that maybe some games that I would play, games that were interesting that I know, or games that I know other people will play. Like it was a fine show. It was nothing really that like blew my mind or anything. It's like, oh man, I'm shocked or anything. It was a totally fine show.
Yeah.
It was that's what it was. I mean, which I guess you could say within itself. Is that a disappointment? But then again, to tell you the truth, I wasn't expecting nothing to blow away. So really, not really. Like I mean, because of the years and because of the recent years, I think I have tempered my expectations of these type of shows now. Now I'm just going to watch and just see what happens. Like I don't know. Wow, I'm looking at like. Roku always have these advertisements, like when you have the screensaver just pops up, and it's this one with the Wizard of Paws when they show the animals that have are hurt, but they helped them.
Okay.
And I see the one advertisement with the elephant with a cast on his leg, and this one has a raccoon with two little scooter wheels on the side of him, man. I guess to help him. I was like, oh man. That's good, but I'm I don't know about helping a thief though. I don't know how I feel about that. I know that I know he probably got hurt stealing.
So that's what happened to Sly Cooper. Is what you're saying?
What do you say?
That's what happened to Sly Cooper.
Yeah,
he's been in a wheelchair the past few years. That's why he can't. But
it was it was just weird. It wasn't like how dogs have the little wheels in the back legs.
It was
it was kind of stretched. It was stretched out.
Interesting.
It was hooked to them, but the wheels, it was like two long pipes between them. Almost like training. It's like training wheels.
Yeah. Huh.
Like training wheels are.
You give them a little wider balance, I guess.
Yeah, I bet all the raccoons are just making fun of them.
That's because they're ableist, Dominic. That's why we don't like raccoons. They're ableist. All right. Real quick, Dominic, before we get into new releases and wrap this up, this is being recorded before the Xbox Showcase tomorrow. It will release after that. Is there anything that you are expecting, hoping for, looking forward to in this Xbox Showcase?
This Gears is what I want to see.
Yeah.
I'm hoping for some saddle drop of a game that I did not hear about coming out this fall. That's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah. All right.
But yeah, Gears and something that I did not expect to come out this year. It will come out this year for Xbox. I mean, you need something, man.
They absolutely do.
No, not screw them. I just think we need something.
I need something to justify my Game Pass subscription, Dominic.
Yeah, I mean, I'm done. I don't care about what the hell they need. But it's like I want good games, and I want something because right now, I mean, it's nothing huge. It's nothing.
If
it's
Perfect
been some good
Dark
games,
could come out this year, would that be big enough?
Well, maybe for you. I was never a big Perfect Dark guy though.
Yeah.
So I mean that'll be big. That would be big in itself, but I've never been a big Perfect Dark guy because I never got it. By the time Perfect Dark came in N64, I had moved on.
Mm-hmm.
I moved on to PlayStation 2.
Yeah. Understood. Playing Time Splitters. I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I think for me, I'm right there with you. Like I think I definitely want to see some Gears, even though I'm kind of apprehensive about them announcing any new games that they haven't previously talked about when they have so many on the table that they have announced, and we don't know where some of them are. I would love to have Toys for Bob up there announcing something, whether it be a Banjo-Kazooie something or other, or even a Spyro something or other. I think that would be really cool to see.
Yeah, Spyro and Crash Bandicoot together.
You know what? Like, throw those two and Crash Bandicoot in a game, Crash Bandicoot, make that work, and you know what? I'm there for it. But we are seeing one of the games announced earlier this week, I believe, was Ukulele, but it's Yuka Replay or something like that. It's basically like an improvement upgrade on the original Ukulele game, and like just do that for Banjo-Kazooie. Like, I don't necessarily need anything brand new, but I would love to see those worlds explorable in a not Nintendo 64 style environment. That could really shine, especially after seeing like what those guys were able to do with Crash 4. I think they got the talent for it, so I would love to see that. If somehow Microsoft was able to pull out, a Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4, remastered the same way they did 1 and 2. Now that they got Activision under their wing, I would love to see that. I don't know if it's too soon for that type of thing, or even if that's possible, since, a lot of that team had gotten spun into like World of Warcraft activities or something like that. If I was Phil Spencer, that would have been the first thing I did, was roll them back out. And honestly, from like outside of the game's perspective, but from like the us talking about stuff perspective, I am very interested to see what this Phil Spencer interview after their show is going to look like with IGN.
Really? I just think it's going to be a freaking puff piece.
That's what I wonder. It's Ryan McAfee, doing the interview, and he's a guy that's maybe a little. he feels like a little bit of a pushover. I shouldn't say he is. I don't know him, but so I wonder if it's going to be like they're keeping this appointment because they know that they're basically going to be doing a victory lap. You know, they're going to have a lot of stuff at this show and they're going to be very proud of that. And then they're going to be able to go on IGN and be like, you know, we had some rough stuff. We had to close some studios. That was unfortunate. Anytime you got to do that, blah, 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 corporate speak, but also like, look at our games. Hey, what can we, you know, there's a lot of talk about a handheld. Again, I have no desire to see another piece of hardware from Microsoft, especially considering the fact that every GPU manufacturer or PC hardware manufacturer has already jumped into the game on this. We've got Asus, we got MSI, we got
exactly.
Lenovo. Like, we've got everybody. We've got the hardware. We don't need the hardware. We need you to work on the software.
Like a partnership with something, doing something. I don't even
want a partnership. Hardware. I just want them to put out good software, good Windows software that works on these units across the board. I want to be able to put this on a Steam Deck. I want to put it on a Lenovo Go. I want to be able to put it on the MSI thing. You know, I just want them to understand that they can get more Game Pass subscribers if they make a functional version of Windows to put on the most popular handheld PC software or hardware it's got to be the Steam Deck, you know. And
well, that's what I was trying to say. Partial with them doing that, yeah. But also I want to announce that they're still going to be updating Windows 10 after this year. Because I think it's pretty fucking stupid that they're not, and that they're doing an update, or they already just did it. Either it was later this month or it already happened. I don't know. They were doing some update, and I was like, y'all about to end it. I said, then don't end it then. I said, don't end it.
I definitely got a full screen splash thing the other day on my desktop that said like, hey, this computer can't upgrade to Windows 11, but also Windows 10 support is ending soon. It's like, well, what do you want me to do about that? Like,
exactly.
You're the ones that have decided that my computer is not capable of running Windows 11. Like, sorry. I would like to be running Windows 11 right now, but you won't let me. Even though I think there's still a backdoor way of doing it, but I think I tried that early on and it didn't let me. So I was like, whatever, I'm just going to run Windows 10.
I think it's ridiculous. I mean, like because this is not like when it's been a long time since they had Windows 11 or something. No. Like, this ain't like when, people had Windows 7 and 8 for so long. And XP was like, okay, we gotta stop XP support. Nah, man. Like I was like, come on, dude. It's like, it's only two versions of Windows, really. I mean, two main versions of Windows, really. So why not just keep... I mean, I get why, but longer. I mean, I'm sorry. That's like, look at the fucking economy going, man. Why are you doing this? Why are you forcing this? I'm like, I'm sorry.
It's actually kind of wild now that I'm thinking of it, because all our computers at work are Windows 10 too, and they might be capable of Windows 11, but like, I haven't heard any rumblings from the IT team about getting them upgraded. So
I'm like, what? Ooh. I'm like, what? Why? It's like, somebody's got, listen, you can afford to take a hit on this. Like, people not upgrading too fast.
Yeah.
Like, Jesus Christ, y'all done it before. I remember y'all tried to do it and y'all just said, okay, we just
roll it back.
Continue support with the older version. Man, it's like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. Not fun, Dominic. Not fun. All right, let's get into new releases here real quick. We have Destiny 2, The Final Shape. So it sounds like that's picking up a little more popularity on Twitch now that it's, out. I haven't seen any reviews or talk about this yet, honestly. It's really just been like everything gaming related I've been listening to. The biggest thing they've been talking about is Elden Ring, because there was a preview event for that. So I don't know what's going on with Destiny, to be honest with you, but it sounds like, this is kind of this
is huge.
The last thing that they're doing
on
for
Steam.
Destiny.
I mean, Steam, I saw bad, but that's like someone said that it's the Steam reviews are like that because people were having a hard time getting on the servers because it's been a lot of people trying to get on at the same time.
That makes sense. And that's good. It sounds like it's popular then, at least.
I mean, yeah. So I'm just saying that, yeah, it's kind of, I can't even go by that, like, to see what's good. Because then I see some people say it's good, but then it's like, I don't know. They could be just huge, just huge fans of it that they just going to like it. But, I mean, I don't, yeah. It's kind of hard to judge, to know what the problem, unless they sell you. I mean, if they're saying that they have a hard time getting the servers, and it's like, okay, I'll just wait till the servers are better. It doesn't mean it's a bad game.
Yeah. Yeah, IGN's got a review in progress. They don't put a score on it. GameSpot has a review in progress. They're giving it a 9 so far.
Whoa.
So,
well, game who?
GameSpot? Yeah.
Okay.
So.
I don't know. Are these people, they get bored? Because it's like every time it's a review for a game or a movie. I forgot. I'm trying to think, what was the movie? Not Mad. Was it Furioso thing for Mad Max? I think it was a game. I'm trying to think. What game was there with the female lead that came out recently? Or maybe it was a TV show. Was it the Star Wars? Yeah, I think it was the Star Wars, the Acolyte, maybe?
Oh crap. Did that come out this week, or is that out like next week?
I think it's out. It's out now.
Oh, man.
I think it came out this week. But that's all the review for. I think somebody said, "Oh, you got to give it a few scores lower because it's woke." And I don't know why it's woke though, because it's like a whole new story. It's because it's just no.
You know why, Dominic?
It's not a white male lead.
Bingo, you got it. How dare you? I feel unseen right now.
I don't even know who the lead is that day. I don't know who the lead is, honestly, because I don't know. I saw the preview and that's it. Yeah. And I kind of didn't really take in what.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on in this preview, so they don't really.
So I'm guessing that, yeah, I don't know why. Well, I'm like, hold up, man, this is a whole new story. So I don't know, man. I was like, whatever. I'm like, I just want to know if it's good or not. And now I can't even go by y'all because y'all just say, and I just don't like it because it's, and then it's like, what do you want? That's the thing. Just say what you want. Say what you want. Like, I don't get it. Like, what
I can't say what I want, Dominic. People will cancel me then.
Yeah, because
and potentially fire me from my job.
Yeah, I said I can't because y'all won't let me. It's like, but wait a minute, what let you say? What are you just saying that you just want a white male lead and
perpetually? That's all I ever want.
And then when people call them out on that, they try to say like. I say, no, that's not it. I say, I don't know. It's like, man, whatever, man. That's like, I don't. Just fucking, like, I hate y'all talking around y'all being racist. I just like, y'all just talk around it. Like, I don't care. Like, you racist. I already know what the fuck this country is. Like, you can't. It's not even about you trying to convince me otherwise. I know what it is. I mean, it's a fact. I mean, we all know the history. Like is people usually just people who are just in denial or trying to force it a certain way, but it's like whatever. But don't don't try to bullshit me, man. With it, you're not racist. It's like that's what I hate.
Yeah.
Especially over trivial shit, though. Like over fucking trivial shit.
Not my
like
Star Wars,
Who cares? Good God.
It's my life.
Like, yeah. And as much as people keep saying, oh, Star Wars has been horrible for years, but yet y'all keep talking about it. Shit I don't like, I don't talk about it more.
Simpsons.
Exactly. Anything new with Simpsons, I don't know nothing about it. I don't know what the hell's going on.
You mean you don't waste your life going on message boards talking about The Simpsons and how it used to be good?
Yeah, if I am on message boards, but talking about Simpsons, if I ever do go, it's going to be just talking about a certain episode I used to like. Yeah. I'm not going to talk about how, this episode was bad, because that means I have to watch it. I'm damn sure ain't going to watch that shit. And obviously somebody must be watching it. Oh, darn. This is my sister. Right. Hold on real quick. All right, I'm back.
All right.
Where we at here?
All right, next game, Dominic. Killer Clowns from Outer Space, the game. So that's a
that
multiplayer game. Yep.
How much that cost? That's not free to play, right? That's
I don't think so. I think that's a pay to play game.
Well, I hope it's good enough that people are playing it.
It is $40 on Steam.
And it's out now. Darn, I didn't see it on Twitch. At least not in. I mean, if it was there, I totally missed it.
Yeah,
because I definitely would have been watching it while we was doing this podcast.
It's too creepy for me to be watching. I'd look over occasionally to just see one of the clowns and be like, ah!
Yeah, I watched that movie a lot when I was a little man. Like a billion times. I think it came on HBO or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to watch that a lot.
Got it. Desensitized to the clowns. All right, and then we got Octopath 1 and 2, Octopath Traveler 1 and 2. That is now out on Xbox and on Game Pass, Dominic. So that's pretty cool.
Oh, yeah, that is definitely cool.
Gotta love more Game Pass games.
Because I didn't know it was never out on Xbox at all.
Yeah.
Like, I was just thinking it just came out on Game Pass. Then I saw somewhere say, hey, Octopath is probably on Xbox. And I was like, oh, darn. I said, I guess Square finally giving us some of the games. So now we just get a Final Fantasy over here.
One of these days, Dominic. One of these days.
I keep saying over here, technically I don't. I don't have a PS5. I can play the Xbox. We can do the PC.
So,
yeah, but that's it.
One-sided. All right, Dominic. That is it for this week's show. You got anything else for the people before we get out of here?
Nah, man. Nah, I'm good.
All right. Thank you guys, as always, for listening. You check us out on Twitter. Dominic's at DStalworth5. I'm at Regulus MB. The podcast is at Supapod, SUPAPOD. Supapod.com is the website. You can check us out there. It has all of our previous podcasts, as well as links to all the places you can find us, including YouTube, where there's a video version of this podcast, as well as iTunes, Stitcher, YouTube Music, Amazon, Spotify. And until next time, guys, talk to you later.
All right, see you.